Hey, how's it all going out there in YouTube land? And yeah, I've had a bit of a question on the old YouTube platform about my Abbott Ashby. Somebody wanted to see me using it, so thought I'd take the opportunity to do a bit of a 2-year review. I've done a video on this, what he thinks, but here's another one, yeah, because I've been using it hard out pretty much in my garage here for 2 years. And yeah, just review a few things that I like and what I don't like, if there's anything, and just go over it. Really love the machine. Been using them a fair while, and yeah, let's have a look, see what we got. So this is my basic setup, so you've probably seen on other things. I've put it onto a frame here because I don't really have enough bench space, so this is just 4-inch box section. Put some pieces on the side and we'll look at those in a wee minute. And it's just got the 3 feet on it, yeah, which holds it pretty steady. It's no problem at all. And it's just got a couple of bolts under there, which is all good. On there, as you can see, it came with a let me have a look. I'm pretty sure that's a multi-tool. Yeah, multi-tool grinders linishing attachment, which we'll have a look at in a minute going off. I'm pretty sure that Abbott and Ashby make those now. Oh, I've got a bit of scratching on there, never mind. But yeah, that's what that came with in the package that I bought. What I've done over here, it's an 8-inch bench grinder, so it's had a grinding wheel on here. I've taken it off and put a spindle on for what I do, and I might go over a little bit of that in a minute. And on the back I put a light, which you can't see in that little bit of video, but that's what it is there. So what do I use it for? Yeah, just in my little garage workshop type thing. I make 1 or 2 knives. I've made a 2x72 belt grinder, and yeah, made an outdoor oven, all that sort of stuff. If you flick back through the videos, you'll be able to see them. So there it is. Let's take a closer look and see what I've got going on. And yeah, if you're thinking of getting one, yeah, highly recommend it. As far as I know, they come from Australia, which Aussies make some pretty good gear. Somebody has suggested that now they're made in China, so I don't know. What does that say on there? Always wear eye protection. That's a good idea. So it's a 200mm 8-inch industrial bench grinder model. Can't be bothered reading it. Input 900 watts, output 600 watts if you care about that. 240 volts naturally for this part of the world, 3.8 amps, and RPM is 2,880. I did not know until now because I've never read it before. So it's got a code on there, I don't know what that means, but I can't see anything on it that tells me where it's made. But anyway, we'll do a bit of a close-up on it. Yeah, let's go. So there's a bit of a close-up of the old multi-tool linishing attachment. That came on this machine when I got it. You can buy separate attachments. Yeah, you can buy them separately, like I'm saying, and put them on any grinder. Abbott and Ashby, like I said before, I think they make them now. So there's various products you can get. There's very little wear, if you can see it in that rubber wheel. That's a 2-inch wide, 3-inch contact wheel. On here, you've got the sanding disc, which, to be honest, I've never used, or once maybe. In industry, that's generally gone. That sanding part, no one ever uses them there. I haven't seen them anyway. I've left this guard on. Yeah, so at the moment you can see it hasn't got a belt on it, so I'll just push that in. Oh, it's already in. And it's pretty simple to put a belt on. Just slips over there, pull the handle up, and away you go, yeah. And to change a belt, and I didn't know this until just the other day when I saw someone else do it, which is something I should have thought of, but I never did. You just push that down, it locks in, and it comes off. Easy as that. And change your belt, simple. Flip that again. And it's minimal force, if you can see down there. I just got a few fingers on it, and it's, yeah, no worries at all. So that's pretty good. Bear in mind also that Abbott and Ashby aren't paying me to say this. I'm just saying it because this is what I find and I like it. So that's a belt going on. Usually tracks pretty good, but we'll have a look at the tracking mechanism, or whatever you like to call it. So if you can see that clearly enough, if you feast your eyeballs down there, you'll see this little lever here that you just pull up and down, you push down or pull up, or whatever you want to call it, and that's your tracking. To be honest, yeah, once it's running, once you've got it dialed in, you hardly ever need to use it. Well, I don't anyway. I hardly ever have. I like to keep it running square on that front wheel. Otherwise, you tend to, yeah, wear down the rubber, which I don't want to do. You've got a little bit of a platen up here. which yeah, use a little bit, but not a lot, to be fair. And in here on this one here, you've got bolts in there you can undo and lift that up and down, which again I've never done, but you can do. I think on the Abbott Ashby ones from looking online, you can actually adjust that really quite easily without a spanner or anything else, but there you go. So that's got a belt on, that's that end sorted out, ready to run. So on the other end, we'll have a look, bear with me. So on that end there, I've got a spindle, as you can see. You can buy those separately, just take the grinder off, put the spindle on. Remember, there are, of course, these left and right-handed threads, just so it doesn't unwind when you're working away on it, yes. So that's what it's got there. And what I do there, mind the noise, is I've got a multitude of these flat wheel things. If you can just put onto there, wrong way, wind them up, and bob junk, away you go. So yeah, so that's that. We'll have a look at the flap wheels and everything else that I got. And yeah. So feast your eyeballs down there and all the crap and corruption, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Well, the one I just put on. So I've got a multitude of these, what they call flap wheels. That's focused. That's a 60. EMS is mild steel because I try and separate them so I don't get impregnation. I don't do a very good job of it, but I do try. So that's a 60. They get grooved out. They are quite costly, but they do last a long time. So I've got 60s there. The 180s, those are the ones that I use. And that's a 180. Get rid of it. You can get these sort of things here, which have got a bit of Scotch Brite in between them, and flap wheel thing on the side there. They're not too bad. And I should have in here, yeah, 120s. 120s that I go to as well. So what I use is a 60, 120 and 180. What I've also got, I haven't got many of these left, these surface conditioning type wheels. Again, quite costly in my opinion, but yeah, they do last a fair while if you're careful with them. And then from there, what you can do, you can go to these sort of things, rope mops, and you put the, what do you call it, the soap stuff on it, and you can do your polishing, and you can work down. It's a softer one, down to your cloth ones like this, and you can get a pretty good polish on your metal, or whatever you want to do. So that's what I'll stick on that end. So without too much more being said on that, so the video doesn't come too long, I'll drag all those out and we'll have a look at what I actually do on it. We'll do some grinding and whatever else. Yeah, let's go. So the person in the comments wanted to see me doing stuff on it. Yeah, so I'll do a little bit of that and show you what's going on. So it wouldn't actually be a project I've made in this garage that I haven't used this machine for at some stage or something, but mainly a lot of what I do, of course, TIG welding, is I sharpen the old tungsten, so we'll just give that a run. You can see that going. Bit of dust coming out of there, been sitting there a wee while. Yeah, of course, as you probably already know, you should have a dedicated grinding stone for your tungstens, and the theory will tell you to go up to remove the burr. However, with a cloth belt, I'm a little bit nervous about doing that, so I do it that way. So yeah, that's that. What else do I do on it? Let's have a look. So that's a tungsten sharpening. What I do use it a lot for is just this sort of thing here, if you have a look, bit of angle on, and removing burrs and so forth and so on. So that's a little bit of deburring or whatever you want to call it. What I also use it for is I will use this platen sometimes on my fly vice jaws. Yeah, I don't think I made a video on that yet, but I've done half of the old fly tie vice. But when it gets a bit small, I'll put a magnet on, just hold that on there. So we'll try that, see if that works. So as you've probably seen, it drained the power a little bit, but it's good for smaller things on there. So quite often like doing that. It's not too bad to finish. If you flick back through and look at the old making of the Mark 1 original hunting knife I make, I did actually do all the bevels on here as well, which is easy enough to do. It's 3-inch contact. So doing bevels, I just do it that way there. I don't do like you normally would like that. Sometimes I do, but let's have a look. So you get the essence sort of thing that's going on, yeah. So that's a bit of sanding on there. Hopefully that's what you want to see. Could go on for days, but I won't. So now we'll turn around, we'll go to the polishing side of things here. So there's a 60. If we take this here, start on that. You've got to be a little bit careful with these, especially when they get softer, because you don't want to be doing this sort of thing and it'll flick out of your hands. I tend to keep it that way, yeah, especially with knives. A little bit careful. The other thing to remember, if you've got hups and hollows in here, due to their size, contact on that, it'll just accentuate them. But anyway, let's have a sand up. So not too bad. The other thing that's really good for is when they get grooved out a bit like that, just clean up the edges. And polishing's a bit of a science in itself, so I'm not going to go too hard out into that. But yeah, you can work your way down, use your mops and do all the rest of it. That's the basics of it there. Another thing I do with it is I'll show you on a kitchen knife. It's got a bit of a patina on it. I'll go get it. So I've got a couple of kitchen knives here. You can see that they're a bit, a bit patinaed to be fair. And so what it's really good for is coming out here. I think we'll start with the rope here. Coming out here, grab the old rope mop, flick that off. And like I say, I can't find the soaps at the minute, but I don't need it because that's got it on. I'll have a look actually. Bear with me. So there we go. We got a variety of these things. Can't remember exactly what they're for. It looks like, yeah, I've got a bit of paper somewhere saying what it is, but you can read about that. I'm going to use that one there, just for a bit of a polish. So that's not supposed to happen. Let's go. So what I'll do, I'll just, it's just a little bit, what I'll do, I'll usually start pretty fine with a knife like that. And if it's not doing what I want to do, I'll go and get a coarser grit and then go coarser as far as I have to go to get what I'm going. I'm not worried about this knife here, but that's sort of what I use it for. If I start with a 60, and I'll go down and do that sort of thing, and I'll come back right up. It does save a lot of time on hand sanding, which I haven't got a knife going at the moment, but there you go. What you do have to be really careful of with these mops, track wheels not so much, especially when you're getting into these real soft ones here. You've got to be very careful what you're doing, because there is high potential for that due to the fact that it's being soft. If you're going to use this on a knife, what you need to do is just keep it up and down. Yeah, you do not want to be getting like this. It'll grab in an instant and it'll flick that out, stab you in the leg, do whatever it's got to do, but you just want to avoid that because it's spinning. So yeah, that's all pretty cool. Now these mops too are really good for polishing handles. Having said that, if you're going to do that, especially with wood and so forth, you want to keep a separate set of mops for your wood as opposed to what you would use for your steel. Otherwise you'll get black on your wood and you won't be able to get it out. So anyway, just one more thing we'll do, and then we'll do an outro and call it a day. So another thing I do a lot of, make a few fly vices to be fair. This here being the barrel that goes on the fly vice and the thing turns in it. You can see, probably can't see, but that's, yeah, just a standard finish of the old 19mm round bar that I've drilled out. So what I'll do, I'll start with my wheels. That's a 180. I'll just knock the corners off, and then I'll polish it up with that in there. So let's go. Let's do that, yeah. So rightio, it's a little bit of the old grinding and whatever day I've done. Yeah, now for the gripe session, things I don't really like about it. And there's nothing actually about the machine I don't like, or the linishing attachment or anything else. The only thing I don't like about my setup, and it's my fail completely, is I had these little spikes on here for hanging these wheels on, and on the other side, that won't fit for hanging the belts. However, what I found is they're a complete waste of time because these just vibrate off. I could have angled, I may angle them up further in the future, or I might get some ends on them there, but they just vibrate off and fall off. So that's the only thing really that I don't like about it, yeah. And that's my fail, like I said. And it's not a big deal. I can put nails on the wall or do whatever I need to in that respect. So yeah, overall, pretty happy with the machine, always have been. They're great for what they are. Bear in mind they're not a 2x72, but you can do a lot on them. And like I said, just about everything I ever make in here, I will do something on this for it. A lot of times now too, for little things like I showed you, angle iron ends and so forth and so on, I will come to this rather than 2x72. It's just easier. Belts are cheaper. And yeah, great machine. So let's do an outro, eh? So there's a little video on my Abbott Ashby, 2 years in here. It's done quite a lot of work, to be fair. Probably not as much as industry, but, you know, I'd get out here as often as I can and do stuff on it. And like I probably said or didn't say just then, just about every project I do in here will come to this thing here. I'm really, really happy with it. And again, Abbott Ashby aren't paying me to say that. It's just how I found it. I bought this on advice from people in industry, which I've been in a long time, and I've never regretted it. It's a great little machine. Also, keep in the back of your mind, these belts, you can get a variety of belts, just like a 2x72, you get different grits. They do last a fair while. That one's pretty worn. You saw it grinding that mild steel pretty easily. Yeah, so if you flick back, I think one of my hunting knives that I made, one of them I ground with a 5-inch grinder, and one of them I did completely on here for the bevel, or both in the back or whatever. But a lot of polishing I do on here because I'm too lazy to hand sand, and it does good enough for what I want to do with those flap wheels and so on and so forth. I have added the light, which you probably haven't seen, but you know, easy enough to do. It takes nothing to stand it on, and it's solid as a rock. And yeah, there you go. So that's about all I've got to say. I hope I've answered your question, the person who asked. It's never let me down, and hopefully it doesn't in the future. I'd buy another one, whether it's made in China or not. I'll tend to buy New Zealand first because I'm a New Zealander. Then I've had a lot of good success from stuff in the US too, so I can't complain about that. And yeah, Australian stuff I've used in the industry a lot, and it's pretty good. But anyway, enough said on that. Hope this video's found you safe and well, and everyone's enjoying themselves. I'm going to call it, and yeah, go and get this out there, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy it and answer your questions. Thanks.